Now we're going to work with inequalities in a little bit more complicated solutions and a little bit more complicated context. And so we're, like I said, a little bit more complicated, but I have a feeling you guys can do it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're really going to look at solving equations to help us kind of have an idea of where to start with an inequality. Rather than just plugging in random numbers, it's more like, hey, this is a good starting point. So we're going to begin by solving these 4 problems. We're going to go over the first 2 together, and you're going to do the second 2 on your own. Okay, so the first one, solve negative x equals negative 10. Well, I know negative x is the same thing as just saying negative 1x equals positive 10. And now I just have a basic problem, so I can solve it. It's like tying a shoe. To tie it, I've got to do it one way, so in this case, multiply. And to untie it, I've got to do the opposite. So in this case, divide. So I'm going to divide by negative 1 on each side. And so x equals negative 1. So you should be able to do that already because that's what we did within the first several lessons. The second problem, though, we're going to be dealing with an inequality here. I want to know what numbers, so you're actually going to give me 2 numbers that work. So if we substitute those numbers for x, that would work in this case. Okay, so let's actually start here. I know that negative x equals 10 when x equals negative 1. So I actually want the case where it's greater than 10. Okay, so then I can think to myself, well, 11's greater than 10. How would I get 11? Well, I could do negative 1 times negative 11, okay? And that would work, and that would give me positive 11. So I know like negative 11 would work. Let's try 15, negative 15. So negative 1 times negative 15 is positive 15. 15 is greater than 10, so negative 15 would work. And so we should notice that, hey, my answers are all below the number 10. Are all below the number 10. And so I can sit here and I can say, hey, any answer, so x, any answer that is less than negative 10 will give me a correct answer. And if we look here, funny enough, my answer here and here is very similar. They're actually the same numbers. They just have different solutions, whether it be an inequality or an equal sign. And that's going to really help you in terms of these inequalities, that if we know the answer to the solution, that gives us a good starting point. So knowing that, I would like for you to solve this second one on your own. Remember, the answer to this solution will give you a good starting point for where you could find your answers here.